Hey, this is Spanner for the Spanner Rig Show. Get ready for another big time episode. As you know, we are rolling through North Dakota athletes moving on to universities. So get your pen and paper out there and start writing them down so we can start tracking these kids at the next level. Because as I've told people, you've seen in my TikToks, I believe that North Dakota is full of ballers. #1 state for high school athletics. And here we go. Little high school to college segment. We've been doing these features here on our shows with the North Dakota kids. I'll emphasize that. Going on to universities. We're here with Trapper Skalski. Did I say that right?
Correct.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm like,
Spanner is just, he's throwing darts at a dartboard. He's like, oh man, I got this right.
My batting average on names is definitely lower than your batting average at the plate. But that's not hard to do. His batting average is pretty high.
Absolutely.
But going to Jamestown, you're going to play a little baseball for Jamestown or a lot of baseball for Jamestown. That's pretty cool. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing just fine.
Cool. Well, no, hey, we're excited. Spanner and I have really had a kind of a bit of a theme about multi-sport athletes in terms of their ability to, first of all, fit in with different groups, and stay active, instead of specializing so early. We feel like it definitely builds character. For yourself, being a 3-sport athlete, now going to baseball for Jamestown, do you think your other sports helped you develop you as a well-rounded athlete?
Oh, yes, definitely, especially the mental side. Baseball is a mental sport, so I'd say football and basketball helped me toughen up my mind to be able to succeed playing baseball.
Now, he's not the first one to say that.
No.
A lot of people have talked about it's made him tougher mentally.
Which is, we've talked about, the kids nowadays, they're playing like youth baseball and like that's it, right? It's like, they're traveling, especially in the hockey world. My God, it just seems like that's all they're going to do, which is, I think is kind of backwards. But
are you looking forward to getting, to smoothing out and getting a lot more skilled, moving to one sport in your college years?
I'm excited just to play baseball. That's my favorite sport out of the 3 I play. It should be good. I'm always doing the same thing. I don't kind of have to knock the rust off ever. I'm always engaged in the game.
Absolutely. One of my good buddies is Rick Fillion, and Rick was a longtime coach of the Hazen Bison. And so when we brought on a Beulah Minor here, I would talk to him about that rivalry. And, that's the cool thing about North Dakota high school sports. There's some rivalries that just run absolutely deep. Trapper, you have to tell me that this Beulah-Hazen rivalry, it runs deep. It's got generations that have been involved in it, but walk us through what that rivalry means. It feels like, how close to the two towns are so close. I'm sure both towns show up. It's,
Yep.
for sports, but what's it like to be in the trenches in that rivalry?
The Hazen game, it's always full, no matter what sport. Basketball, it's a sold out. The bleachers are full, both sides. Football, we play the Cole Bowl, it's called, and that's when we play Hazen every year.
Oh,
and there's a Cole football trophy.
Awesome.
And there's a bunch of plaques. Like the first year they did it was, I don't even know, it was a while ago, maybe the 70s. And then it has every score of every game on there and which town's held it the longest. So yeah, it's a moving trophy between the two teams.
Because how far are the two towns? Like they got to be what, a few miles?
8 miles between us.
Boy.
Yeah, 8 miles.
My buddy was at the Cole Bowl last year.
Okay.
And he said there was a pickup backed up into the end zone. And the guy was watching the game and he had a 6-pack of beer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
His buddies are two trucks right next to each other. Sounds like an amazing high school football environment.
Well, and I correct me if I'm wrong. People get there early too. I hear people are arriving early. It's circled on.
When we get there for warm-ups, the stands are full.
I also heard that when that game's on, that if you were to be a robber, you could pillage those towns dry because everybody would be at the game, right? So
yes, that's true. Yes.
Oh man, that's crazy. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. So it's like our version of Florida Georgia, the greatest cocktail party in the South, right?
Yeah.
This is more of probably a keg or a red Solo Cup action, I'm guessing. So playing a little shortstop for Beulah, right?
Yep.
What are they talking to you about playing at Jamestown? Because I know a lot of those colleges like recruit a ton of shortstops because they're the best athlete. And they move them all around the park.
Yep.
You know, have you
I
talked about that at all?
I signed as an infielder, and the coach told me I definitely could move around, and I probably will, but there hasn't been really a set position for me at the next level.
So to kind of piggyback off that, pick Jamestown. Walk us through what was the reasons why you really wanted to jump on with Jamestown. I'm assuming there was other opportunities, but what made you lead you to Jamestown?
It just felt it's close-ish to home, so I'm not that far away from everything I've known for the past 12 years. They have a good program. They have a good baseball program. I know people that already attend the school in Jamestown, so I just thought it'd be a good spot for me to go.
So I got to ask, you're definitely one of the top athletes in the whole state, period. All state in 3 sports, 2-time all-state football player. Did you get any love from any of the Northern Sun schools, Northern, Mary, Minot, Moorhead, or any of that? And which sports?
Mostly football. Those schools contacted me. I had some for baseball, but football came way earlier. The letters and all that stuff came way before the baseball letters did.
Kudos to him. I mean, you think about it in terms of, when you do play multiple sports, everybody, fixated on the like quote unquote the bigger ones and thinking that that's where you gravitate. So kudos to you, Trapper, for focusing on baseball and wanting to go at it. And like you said, I'm assuming it's one of your better ones, but baseball's been a passion. I'm assuming you've played it since you pretty much could walk and throw, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I've played it for a long time. I played on a bunch of small traveling teams, played, town rec ball, and just slowly worked my way up to high school.
So I had the opportunity to see you play, and I saw, pretty much the whole state play this year in baseball. And I saw Nygaard at Minot, and I saw Burgum at Mandan, and I saw you, and I think you rank right with those guys, maybe even above them. And Burgum's, he's amazing. He can go deep into the hole and throw it. You got that big arm there. When you rate yourself at the college level, do you think you're still going to be in the high end of arms there, thrown across the diamond?
I don't know. It's hard for me. I haven't had that much exposure to the college game, so it's hard for me to rank myself. But I definitely know that I'm going to have to increase probably every level of my game to succeed there.
Absolutely. So, for your summer, what does it look like? I mean, are you basically been told to do volunteer type workouts or certain specifics that they want you to key on? Or is it something where you're just overall, develop? And I'm assuming you're playing some either Legion ball or something in the summer, or are you not doing any of that?
Yeah, I'm playing Legion in Beulah, and then I'll go to Jamestown and play with their Elks team every once in a while if they need guys or something, or if they can get me on. And then they have me on a lifting program and an eating program, gain some weight, put on that mass, hit bombs, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's
right.
Spainer's just perked up.
Spainer's got we got a little mass gainer shake in my non-nutrition addiction. Just saying there.
Just got to get that plug in there.
Okay, we got to do. We got to
brought
do.
to you by M&A North. I tell you.
Yeah, well, we do what we do, but I like that. I like that. So. Interesting, baseball's his first love. Spainer's a massive baseball fan. I tell everyone out on the road there, I love baseball, big Dodger fan. Who's your favorite team?
The Yankees.
Oh, come on. How? Yeah. What? How, what year were you born? 2003, 2004?
2004.
Okay, 2004. How do you become a Yankees fan? Is that like?
I think it's just because my dad was a Yankees fan, and that's just it was always on.
Oh, geez. What was it, 2009 the last time they won the World Series? That's, 5 years old? A big jump on the bandwagon then.
I was 5 when the Cowboys went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, good Lord, I tell you.
I said, now, I did a special episode, Spainer at the Office, with the Minot High baseball team, and I got out there with the wiffle ball, and he struck him out in 3 pitches. So I don't know if you saw the episode, but if you do, I want to know if you can hit off Spainer and wiffle ball.
Oh, I don't know. Those look pretty dirty. Those wiffle balls are moving.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Absolutely. I can't believe he's a Yankees fan. Well, they're having a great season now, so he's not going to jump off that bandwagon as my Blue Jays are trying to chase. Switching. Of course, Aaron Judge, you get into it. I mean, would he turn down that massive contract and bet on himself and now, look out?
That's crazy.
That usually doesn't,
I told this guy earlier, I said the Blue Jays are filthy good, but I said they're not going to make the playoffs because their division's a complete friggin' train wreck, and the Yankees are super good.
Oh, man, they steamrolled them early on. But, the thing about your Yankees, though, I'll tell you this. They played, 13 times against Baltimore already? I mean, come on.
They always lose to Baltimore.
Yeah.
What's the deal with Yankees in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost the first series to them.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they would have swept my Jays in Toronto, whatever it was, a month ago. So it's like, oh boy. But hey, like you said, it's gonna come down the wire. My philosophy is anybody but the Yankees. I like the Jays, but anybody but the Yankees, I tell you.
There's there's a couple kids from Beulah going over to Jamestown too, huh?
Yes, some football players. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, man, it was awesome having you on, and it was a real pleasure for us because I think you're, like I said, one of the best athletes in the entire state, Class A or Class B. I think you rank right there with those top shortstops, even the Cheyenne kid. So I really appreciate you coming on. I think you're awesome.
Thank you, guys.
No, appreciate it, Chopper. We'll definitely be following your progress, and hopefully in the future you'll jump on again after he's playing for the Jamestown Jimmies.
I hope so. And, what we're trying to do is let everyone in North Dakota know where everyone's going. You guys are high school stars, and, and people, love watching you play in high school. And then other than the people in Beulah, you disappear to everybody else. So hopefully, people in North Dakota start tracking everything, and because that's kind of what we're doing.
Yep.
But
perfect.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You bet.
So, hey, here we are with the Beat Spainer Challenge, and we're going to pick it, the Bravera Workout Warrior of the Week. If you want to be the Bravera Workout Warrior of the Week, or you want to enter into the contest, make sure that you hashtag Bravera Workout Warrior. It's on all of my TikToks, and at Spainer and Riggs. And remember this, the top Class A school that posts the most gets $1,000 from Bravera for athletics facility renovations. The top Class B school also gets $1,000 for athletic facility renovations. The top male athlete that posts the most gets an interview with their best friend on the plane, on the Spainer plane, and the top female athlete that posts the most gets an interview with their best friend on the Spainer plane. So, let's rock. Interview from Trapper Skalski, and we are moving on to Kinsey Zuroff, another minor turning into another Jimmy.
Oh boy.
Kinsey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
It's great. We're on second interview of the night, so we're gonna just dig right into this here. You're a 3-sport star, and we're talking star varsity since 7th grade, Beulah minor. Tell us, how much it means to you to play multiple sports. Has it helped you being a multiple sport athlete? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, being a multi-sport athlete is a lot of work. Even being in one sport's a lot. Like, it takes a lot of your time and your energy, but it's definitely helped me a lot. Like, especially being in track, it's helped help me get stronger and faster for volleyball and basketball. It keeps me in shape, always has me doing something. Like, I hate being bored. And if you play a lot of sports, you can always find something to do between the three. So it always kept me busy and on the road and didn't waste a lot of money, but spent a lot of my money on sports. My parents' money kept them busy, have them something for them to do. And well, all four of us, I have three siblings. We all four played three sports, and I'm 4 years apart from my oldest sister, so we've been pretty busy our whole lives with sports. But
not only are you multi-sport athlete, I mean, you talk about like actual considered classified, but like in track, weren't you in so many different events? Like how many events were you competing in track?
7 events or something.
My junior year, I state qualified in 8, and then this year I state qualified in 7. But I run, jump, and throw, so kind of a lot.
She's like a 9-tool baseball player. I don't even know what the other 4 tools are, but she's got them.
That's remarkable.
That.
Yeah. Absolutely. So touch on, I mean, kind of one of the things that Spainer and I have been kind of touching on is athletes going on to the next level, and we always like to hear those stories in that journey. You are going to Jamestown. Now, correct us if we're wrong. You're going for both volleyball and track and field. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so what led you to Jamestown? I mean, geez, it's remarkable. Usually when you get to college, it's focusing on one sport or the other. But to walk us through why you picked Jamestown and what led you to picking to go to the Jimmies.
Well, sort of like towards the end of my sophomore year, I started to turn my love more to volleyball instead of basketball. Since I started my basketball career a little earlier than volleyball, I always like kind of only took basketball the most seriously. But then the better I got at volleyball and like the more fun I had, I started to develop a bigger love for volleyball. And Jamestown has a really good volleyball program and they have a lot of success. And I kind of just started following along with them. And like, I just like thought like it'd be super fun to be a part of a really good program. And like people who are being on a team who's good and being on a team who all the people love each other and encourage each other and want everybody to succeed is something I wanted to be a part of. Like, it's not fun being on teams where people don't like for you to succeed. So Jamestown it's more of a family than a team. Like I could tell, like going into the camps that I went through too, it was really fun and like atmosphere, and they all cared about you and loved about you, and just kind of seemed like something I wanted to be part of. And they're good, so thought it'd be a good route to take.
They are good, boy. That facility, that Newman Arena.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Don't you love it when an athlete?
It is, absolutely.
Athlete picks a team because they're good. Like they just want to win.
Yeah. You know, because it does take, there's a lot of athletes that have the ability to step in, but there's some that have to pay their time, and usually the good ones, it's paying their time, so that's remarkable.
So are you, what was your best position in volleyball in high school? A middle blocker, outside hitter, whatnot? And then what have they talked to you about playing for them? Do they see you in a different role or the same role?
Well, all my years in high school, I played outside, but I also played all the way around. So I started out as an outside in Glen Ullin. My sister was the other one. She was a junior, and I was a 7th grader, and we were both outside. So I really liked outside because my sister was outside as well. And then when I got to around my sophomore year, I had to play middle because shortage of players and height, I guess. So I played middle there. Wasn't a big fan of middle, but did what I had to. And then coming back to Beulah, I was outside as well. And I think they're going to keep me as an outside at Jamestown just because they have a lot of like liberos and DS specialists that are coming. So I don't think they need many passers, but they'll probably keep me at outside. That's what I've been working with when I've gone there, so I'll probably stay outside. And
then I just want to interject on the track side. Are you going to focus on a couple different areas, or where are you going to focus on the track side?
9-tool or like 3-tool?
You're going to for sure have me throw javelin because what I throw now is national qualifying for college already. So they're going to have me throw jav, and then I think we're going to try to get in some sprints and relays. I don't think I'll jump because I didn't really jump much this year, but it depends how much time I have with volleyball because like volleyball does a lot outside of season 2. So it kind of depends what I can work with, like schedules together. So I would love to be in relays and do some sprints too, but we'll just see what I have time for, but for sure javelin.
So I got two things. Number one, I think she was either, throwing a little jab at her coach or actually patting herself on the back. She's willing to take one for the team because I think she was alluding to 930 kills in high school, which sounds like amazing to me. But, she kind of told us she fell short of 1,000 kills. If you got to play outside hitter that sophomore year, would you have got 1,000 kills?
Definitely that would help too, but my junior year, COVID did not help. No, sophomore year. No, yeah, junior year when COVID hit, we didn't have tournaments and we had a lot less games. So that sucked a lot because I would average about 120 to 130 kills a tournament. So that definitely would have helped me get up to 1,000, but it happened to everybody. It wasn't just me that missed out on those tournaments. So it makes me feel a little bit better about it.
Basically 1,000.
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
1,000.
Absolutely.
So I got a question, and I think this is going to be a really good one for all future multi-athletes. Do you have your scholarship from Jamestown? Is it slanted, even? You know, how is it weighed? Does one coach have the hammer when it comes to, you know, time with you or whatnot? Or is it 50-50 and, you know, or is there no hammer and one coach gave you all the money? I mean, how does that work?
So it's kind of confusing. So nothing against like girl collegiate athletes. Like there's some really, really good ones, but it's almost easier to stand out in girls college track, if it makes sense, than girls college volleyball. So I'm a good volleyball player and a good track athlete, but it's almost harder to be better at volleyball than I am track. I don't know. It's kind of confusing, but I got more money from track than I did volleyball because that's who I started talking to first. The Jamestown coach started talking to me first for track. And then the volleyball coach kind of like, I went on a visit, and then I kind of started talking to the volleyball coach then. So it was kind of more later. So then a lot more of my money is coming from track. But at Jamestown, it's really nice because let's say I don't like track the first semester, I can quit and I'd still keep the scholarship, even though most money came from track. I still can keep that money for volleyball as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of confusing, but
no. Very, very interesting. Now, what, we know, of course, we always talk about sports because this is a sports show, but of course, there's some academics involved in this too as well. Explain to us what you're going to be taking at school and kind of what your future goals from that side of, of your life.
So I am majoring in psychology. I want to do something, well, there's a lot of careers you can go with studying psychology, but I just like a lot of the part of there. I've always wanted to work at the state hospital, and I've always wanted something to do with mental health and sexual assault, because I feel like those are two areas that people don't really take very seriously and like that don't get much attention. Like mental health, I feel like a lot of people hear things about it and they're like, oh, everybody kind of goes through something, but it's a kind of a big deal, and like a lot of people struggle with it and don't get help for it. So I want to try to help people there. And then sexual assault, like you always hear these stories about people getting sexually assaulted, but then like you never know if something like if it gets taken care of, or like how people deal with it after what happens to them. So I feel like those are two areas that if I can help in, I'm going to try my best to, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. There's a lot of things that interest me, but I feel like I want to do my best to help others. So I'm going to go that route first. And if that doesn't work out, I'll go to the other things that are fun.
Well, I'm no mental health care professional, but I have some theories on things, and maybe you give me your 2 cents, and I'll just give you a quick theory. I believe that our world has become a me first world a little bit. Everyone wants to be famous and whatnot, however you want to put it, and we're dialed into screens all the time. I feel like people aren't as aware of their loved ones' issues or their friends or colleagues' issues as they were 10, 20, 30, 40. I mean, and I think it's each decade it's gotten less. I mean, that's my theory. In 20 years ago, something bothered you? You're off today? I don't think that question is asked as much.
You sat each other on the couch watching whatever show or whatever, right? You could
Netflix, yeah. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, this is your future field, but I'd like to, that's something I've talked about, and I've gone through a lot of these meetings with being a university coach. We talk about it a lot, but that's my thoughts, my theory, and I don't know. What do you think?
Well, like, I don't know if it's just because I'm empathetic or something, but I feel like I can tell. I definitely think that's true, but like with certain people, like me and my mom are a lot alike, and like I hate seeing, like, let's say I'm at lunch and there's one person sitting by themselves. Like that just like makes me like extremely sad. Like even if they're not sad or they're perfectly fine being by themselves, I just like hate that person's by himself, or like seeing somebody be made fun of. Like stuff like that. Not everybody, it doesn't bother everyone, but that like really bothers me. And I hate that people are sad. I hate that people go through certain things, and like I want to do my best to like prevent that almost. But no, like even social media, like I hate it. I wish I never got any of it because it's caused a lot of problems, but also a lot of good has come out of it. But I feel like it definitely is screens and technology has ruined a lot of it. And yeah, it's almost like people don't even like pay attention, or like almost like, I don't know, it's weird. Like people don't go out and like hang out anymore. Really, like everybody's on their phone, or everybody's like talking about something on social media or showing somebody something. Like it's not really like face-to-face interaction anymore, which I agree with a lot of things that you said. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know how it was back then because I've only been here for 18 years, but
yeah,
the years that I have been here, social media has made it worse, and it's just kind of gone downhill. So I agree. So
well, this has turned into one of the deeper interviews, which is she's right. So, I mean, you think about it. I mean, I don't want to get too deep here, but you think about obviously we can't be naive to know what's going on in America right now, and a lot of it is tied to mental health. And like she said, that one person who is sitting by themselves, you know, is the one that ends up causing problems in this world. And it's like, you know, if you engage and you
or just leaves the world, and it could have been avoided. I really think that you're going down to a field that, you know, you're the right person to do it. That's
cool.
That's just really awesome. You know, super self-aware person at a young age. I was not that self-aware, by the way. Even though 18, what was that, like 11 years ago?
Well, and like she said, psychology, it's like, yeah, I want to go into psychology, and, you know, and just a general psychology degree is very, I mean, it's very wide open, right? But to have that focus,
yeah, there's a lot of places you can go with psychology.
Yes, and so for you to say you really want to work on that aspect of it is more kudos to you, and we need more of those.
I don't know if I'm not self-aware now.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's.
I mean, it can be a good and bad thing. Like sometimes, like it makes me really sad at times, and it's people are like, that's somebody else. Why are you so worried about it? Like it has nothing to do with you. I'm like, that person's sad, like they're going through something and they shouldn't have to. Like it's almost like I feel selfish that like I'm okay and they're not. Like I just want to make sure they are okay. And my mom and I, like I said, are a lot alike, and I'll talk to her about it, and she's like, yeah, I understand that totally. Like I don't know if you know this, but Chapper and I are dating. It's kind of funny, but he is always like, why does that bother you? Like they're okay. Like, you know, they're not okay. And I just sense that they're not okay, and I need to take care of that. He's like, just let them go. Like, that's weird. Like, why does that bother you? Like, don't go up to them. They'll be fine. But then some people like get offended. Like if I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like want to keep more to themselves and like not explain, which is okay. But then other people are like, I'm so glad you asked. Like I felt like nobody noticed and stuff like that. So every now and then, if I get those people that are like, nobody's ever asked me if I'm okay, like that did a lot for me, I will keep doing that, see if I can help people or do the best I can to make them feel better about themselves or whatever's going on.
Do you think that playing all these sports and interacting with a bunch of different types of people, you know, that make up different teams, track teams, and, you know, do you think that helps you relate to different people and it'll help you in the future?
Oh yeah, like even somebody has worked with works with my dad, saw me at a regional meet. I finished the 4x4 and some other girl finished 4x4, and she just like, I could tell, like she was crying right away. I mean, I know the girl, but I just know her from track. So like went up to her and made sure she was okay. And she was just telling me how she hates 400 and she doesn't know how to run it. Her coach just puts her in it. And I personally love the 400, which is not a usual thing to say, but so I tried to help her. I was
unusual.
I was like, this is what I do in the 400. So like, you can try this next time and see if that helps. Not doing it, like hoping people would see me do it just to help her. So like, it wouldn't hurt as bad next time she ran it. And that person ended up emailing my dad or something and said that they noticed it and saw. So I definitely think a lot of things like that, like sports has got me a lot of relationships and stuff, but I've also, like you said, interacted with a lot more people, and that's probably has helped me or develop this empathy type, whatever I got going on. But
absolutely.
Love it. I love all of it.
This is
really,
we never
good.
know what we're like. We're talking about athletes and thinking like, you know, where sport they like and stuff. We kind of don't really know where it sometimes goes. And boy, this is
I like how
deep. This is
I like
deep.
how we asked them both why they chose Jamestown, and neither of them said each other.
Instead of the other one's going there, you know, they had options to go elsewhere. Oh, you know, especially when you talk about like these really elite athletes that you're like, man, that one should have went to the Northern Sun or should have been Division I or something. I'm like, oh, why did they settle on this? And so now you start connecting the dots a little bit. But,
Well,
hey,
kind of. Speaking of that, I did the Nebraska, the UNL coach messaged me for throwing.
oh boy.
And I could say before, like obviously Trapper has little help for where I choose, but let's say like if he, because I have family down there too, my sister went down there, and then my aunt and her family's down there, so he almost was like telling me like, oh, like Nebraska's like where you should be, like it's perfect, you'll go down there, it won't be as hard because you have family down there. But I also wanted to play volleyball, like my heart was at volleyball, and I mean I probably could be a water girl for the volleyball team at Nebraska, but I definitely am not good enough to play for their volleyball team, which would have been a dream. But
Volleyball team is so good, dude. Oh yeah, like Final Four every year.
Oh,
throwing coach in the state at Nebraska, I probably had a chance to make it to the Olympics. Like that's the only thing I worked at, and like he's gotten coaches or athletes to the Olympics in the past, like that would have been amazing. But my heart was at volleyball, and I don't know, like the small school, like I'm from a small town, Jamestown's sort of like a small town like campus, like that's kind of what it feels like. So I don't know, I just chose Jamestown, and I don't know if I could end up at Nebraska in the future, but I don't know. But maybe if Trapper had an offer for baseball, it would have been a little bit different, I guess. But
of course.
We made the NCAA tournament a bunch of times, and the NCAA always gave us a charter flight.
Okay.
So one year, we got on this charter flight, and they had just dropped Nebraska off at Michigan State in East Lansing. They picked us up, took us to Kansas City, picked them up, took them to Michigan, and then picked us up, took us home, and then picked them up and took them home. But so we and that was Nebraska's charter flight that we chartered so for volleyball, which was pretty cool. And our assistant AD is a massive Husker fan, so he thought that was really cool. But hey, thanks for coming on. And this was a really good interview. It was just awesome.
Awesome.
So you're a baller, you know it. But now everyone in North Dakota knows it.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Another fantastic episode here on the Spain and Riggs podcast. We got dived into some high school sports and, of course, talked a little college. Next week's going to be super exciting. We got a great couple interviews that you're not going to want to miss. We're also going to have to make sure we keep track of him as he's been blowing it up on TikTok. So next time, stay tuned for our next episode of the Spain and Riggs podcast, brought to you by the Dakotan.